Serial is out with a new podcast episode today on the stunning twist in the case millions of people around the world have been watching for years. Adnan Syed, the subject of the popular true crime series, walked out of prison yesterday after a judge vacated his murder conviction. Syed spent more than 2 decades behind bars fighting for his conviction for the 1999 murder of his high school classmate. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson is following developments in the story. Ann, good morning. What's next in Syed's case?
Well, the next thing, Jose, is for the prosecutor to figure out whether or not he is going to be retried. This morning, Adnan Syed is home, but his legal troubles are not yet over.
Adnan Syed walked out to cheers and a scrum of cameras. No longer in prison after 23 years, but not quite free.
You can imagine today is both joyful and incredibly overwhelming, and he and his family are processing all of this.
Syed's conviction for the 1999 murder of Hai Min Lee, his former high school girlfriend, thrown out by a Baltimore judge at the state's urging.
We're not yet declaring Adnan Syed is innocent, but we are declaring that in the interest of fairness and justice, he is entitled to a new trial.
It's Serial, one story told week by week.
8 years ago, Syed's case became a media sensation. Doubts about his conviction raised in the inaugural season of the podcast Serial. The story mesmerized listeners, sparking debate over his innocence or guilt.
If he did what he did, then who's the person that I saw every day in class?
Leading to a 2019 HBO docuseries.
This is a piece of evidence that nobody even realized existed.
This morning, Syed is under home detention with a GPS monitor. Prosecutors have 30 days to bring a new trial against Syed for Lee's murder or drop the case.
Miss Lee's family deserve closure. They deserve justice, and we intend to fight for that.
In vacating the ruling, the judge found that the original prosecutors did not turn over evidence to the defense that could have helped Syed. And evidence uncovered since would have added, quote, substantial and significant probability that the result would have been different, end of quote. The Lee family now looking ahead in their ongoing pursuit for justice.
They want to, more than anybody, to have a person who killed Hai Min Lee brought to justice. And so if that is not Mr. Syed, then they're open to the possibility of anybody else who actually did it being prosecuted.
Lee's brother testified in court via Zoom yesterday. He was in California and didn't have enough notice to actually get to Baltimore. But he said he felt blindsided and betrayed by the prosecutor's decision to ask that the conviction be vacated. The family has suffered for more than 23 years. Jose?
Yeah, and I'm just wondering what the evidence was that was uncovered.
Well, and this is the really interesting thing. What the prosecutors say is that in the original prosecution file, they found evidence of 2 alternate suspects, evidence that was not shared with Syed's defense team, evidence that could have helped clear him at the time. The other thing they found was that the cell phone data that was used to place Syed at the site where Lee was buried turns out to be unreliable. And so those 2 things combined is why the prosecution says it lost faith in that conviction and asked that it be vacated. Jose?